Two men, two microphones, one movie, a couple of beers, and some wildly outlandish critiques about the movies you may or may not love. The following review will have massive spoilers and possibly offensive commentary. This content may not be suitable for little bitches. Brought to you by Goat Straw Entertainment and some liquid courage.
Hi, movie lovers. Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Everyday Critics. I'm your host, George Lugo.
And I'm Manny Rivera.
And if you haven't seen the show before, what we do is rate and review and critique movies of every genre, every budget, everything under the sun.
Yeah, we're a couple of dudes that enjoy movies so much, we decided, hey, I'm going to try to take it into our own hands and critique it ourselves. And these opinions are our own opinions, so take them as you want. With how many films do you say?
500,000. There's roughly 500,000 movies in all of existence.
Yeah.
And so we need to get this fucking thing going here.
Yeah,
and,
definitely a lot of fucking things to fucking do.
Let's start critiquing movies. Today's movie is actually one that's near and dear to both of us, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up watching this movie a lot because I like martial arts movies. And today's movie is going to be Wheels on Meals.
Oh, man, dude.
Starring...
Wheels on Meals, fucking great.
It's great.
Great.
It's great. So Wheels on Meals starring Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao, and Sammo Hung. This movie came out in 1984. This movie's as old as I am.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
You're old.
Old as shit.
Yeah, you are old.
Which I literally just gave away my age, so yeah. So, all right. So what do you say we jump into the plot summary?
Let's do it.
Two Chinese friends who operate a food truck in Barcelona, Spain, use their martial arts expertise to help their private investigator friend protect the pickpocket Silvia, who's been targeted by a ruthless gang.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Cool.
Very sweet and simple.
Very short and to the point. So, I think we can. I think we can jump right into the movie now. So you want to jump into the cast?
Yeah, let's do cast and intro.
Okay.
We'll do cast and then intro.
All right.
Because I love the fucking cast. But
okay, so let's start here. Jackie Chan is Thomas. Yuen Biao is David.
Yep.
Sammo Hung is Moby. Benny the Jet Urquidez. He's Mondel's henchman. He doesn't even have a name. He's just a henchman.
The henchman. So bad.
But he's ridiculous. Keith Vitale is like basically henchman number 2.
Yeah.
We got Herb Edelman as Matt. Lola Forner as Silvia. Susana Sentis is Gloria. Jose Sancho is Mondel. Miguel Valenzuela. He's the butler.
The butler.
Hey, look, it's Joseph Luis Fono as Dino. Joseph.
Okay.
Amparo Moreno is Susana. Montserrat. Julio? All right, so
okay, if these names turn out that way, you're just gonna ruin their names. So how about we stop there?
Yeah, let's do one more. We're gonna do Paul Chang Chung. That's David's father.
Oh, that guy's funny.
Yeah. And then Karlok Chin. He's the motorcycle punk.
Ah, okay.
All right, so we're gonna stop there.
And we're gonna start with the drinks.
Here they come.
Oh.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going, bud?
Everybody?
And our buddy David
Raby.
Raby, as always, man of the hour.
Meals on wheels.
Wheels on meals.
Yeah.
I'll get it right next time.
What do you got for us today, Dave?
This is a drink that George actually picked out. George, what is it?
This is called. It's a drink inspired by Jackie Chan. I don't understand how it's inspired by Jackie Chan.
It's gonna fuck us up.
But it probably is going to.
Shit. Okay.
And I'm hungry.
What's in it?
Vodka, amaretto, and Sprite.
Sprite.
Three
He's a-
simple ingredients.
Vodka,
Real easy.
amaretto, and Sprite.
Yeah.
Then you have to mix or stir or just toss it in and serve. So
Whoa, that smells strong.
is it? I'm gonna go
A
find
little
out.
bit.
All right, you ready?
All righty.
Hold on,
Let
we gotta
David get back to
wait
his
for
chair.
David.
I'm here.
There we go.
All right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's good.
That's fucking good.
Holy
Tastes
shit.
like vanilla.
I think it's
That
the
is
amaretto.
so good.
It's the amaretto.
What the
It's
fuck
so
is-
good.
I think this is what Jackie Chan got fucked up on that one day. Remember you see that headlines where he freaking just went all crazy like at a party or whatever?
No, I don't know that.
No? Oh
no.
man, this was
How old is that?
It was a couple years ago.
Like a couple or like 20?
No,
Like,
it was more like 4 or 5.
like in
Dude, I want
the
to be at
mid-
that party.
Really?
Yeah, it was like some party and he got like really drunk and there was like a whole headline about it about Jackie Chan
So-
being fucked up.
He got drunk at this party. So did he instead go, I want trouble?
Yeah, I want trouble.
Instead of I don't want trouble?
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Nah, I remember seeing the headline for it where he was just fucking like he just got trashed and was just, having a good time.
Someone
But I
probably
mean-
called them out. They're like, hey, I bet you
Yeah.
don't even do your own stunts. Like,
Right?
That's
He
a way
gets-
to
He gets
get
fucked
nice.
up doing it.
Oh yeah,
His
come
own
here.
stunts,
I have
yeah,
a
he
hole
does,
in
dude.
my head.
yeah.
Yeah.
When he
that
broke
guy-
his ankle doing a rumble in the Bronx, fucking.
Dude, I think one of the worst ones I saw was Police Story. The very first Police Story, he jumps down. I think it's like in a mall, and it's like a light fixture, but it's all like these wires and glass.
Oh yeah.
And he grabs it and he slides down it, and it's just exploding on him. And he goes, I think, like from the 3rd floor down. I think it's the most he's ever gotten like messed up because he got
yeah.
broken. He got broken bones and he got cuts and like lacerations from the glass.
Yeah,
Yikes,
when he
dude.
landed on impact, his stunt double was actually fighting,
Yeah.
and then he was just laying inside that rubble that he was in there.
I think I think that was the most fucked up. And I think the second would probably, from my knowledge, would probably be Operation Condor. He like fell and like landed on like this rock from the stunt. Like he does a zip line and he fell off and he like hit his chest on the rock and they had to like
Yikes.
helicopter him out of
That
there.
guy's a soldier though.
He's a soldier. So one more cheers for Jackie
One more
Chan.
cheers
More
for
cheers
Jackie
for him.
Chan.
While we're
He's
drinking
fucking
Jackie
crazy.
Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. All right. So let's get this show going.
Yeah.
We're going to do the intro. Okay. And I've decided to change it up. We're only going to do like the first 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the movie starts and it has like a weird like an image of Spain. You got the music going and whatnot, and they show a couple clips of España, and then we go to David and we go to Thomas, and they're sleeping and they're just about to get up for work. Their alarm's going off and whatnot, and we got the inspirational music in the background, the theme or whatever. And Thomas is like, he's kind of like a slob, and like David's kind of like the neat one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of funny because like David gets up and he's like doing, he gets on the ground, he's stretching out, and he gets on the Wing Chun. He's like pa 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 pa, and then Thomas is like, oh fuck, and he gets up there and he goes, cut. That's like my favorite part. He does one hit.
It's good.
Yeah, so they're stretching out and they do like a mid-morning sparring session to like stay fit and stay in shape.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They have a lot of really cool shots in there. But one of the really cool shots that always trip me out on is the way they do sit-ups. They do these sit-ups where they tag their left and their right knee, but they're locked into each other with their legs.
They do the leg lock with each other, and then
Yeah.
they come in and they do the whole side or whatever.
Yeah.
And the scene that they have when they're doing that, it's just so badass. At first, it's pretty quick when they're doing
They're like,
it.
pop, pop,
But
shit,
then when
pop,
they
pop.
slow it down, you see the sweat coming off of them when they do that whole thing. Like these are fit guys.
Well,
These guys been
this is Jackie Chan and Yuen Biao like at their peak.
like their 20s.
At their peak.
Like
I think Jackie
But-
Chan was 20. I think he was only like 28
nah, he was
28 or
he's gotta
30.
be younger than that.
because Yuen Biao was 28 when this movie came out. Anyways,
Around the same
so they do their sparring and whatnot, and then they finish their practice, and then now we get a shot of them. They're getting ready to leave, right? They're all getting dressed up, and they're walking to their front door, and all of a sudden they open the door, and their neighbor from across the hall, there's like an Italian couple, And he fucking runs in, and he's all like yelling at his wife. It's like, I swear it's not what you think, because he's always cheating on his wife. Scumbag. Like a scumbag.
Jesus.
But apparently
Christ.
that's normal over there. Apparently it's normal, like in Italy and like France. Like it's normal to actually not to cheat, but just to have like other lovers. You know, but as long as
they
it's,
have other lovers,
but
but
it-
don't be married or
but
whatever.
no,
you
no,
know
no,
what
no,
I
no, no,
mean?
no. You can be married and have other lovers.
Oh well, that's fucking.
But that's
not for me.
That's not for you. That's the lifestyle there.
Like an
That's-
open relationship everywhere.
Yes. So what makes it different is when you become intimate with that other person, then you need to break your other relationship off. So that literally it's like a lust thing. It's not. You're not looking for intimacy. You're not or a relationship. You're just looking for
The sex.
the sex.
Okay.
Lovely.
Well, anyways,
Gentlemen out
they're all like, we gotta get out of here. You gotta go. And they're like, don't go out there. She'll kill you. And I'm like, all right, fine. They're like, go out the window. They're like, what if the Spaniard catches us again? He's like, I don't know. I'll go first. And so they're on the second floor. Actually, it looks a little bit higher. It almost
It
looks
does
like.
look a little bit higher.
I think it's
Spanish
just.
second.
It looks a little bit higher because there's like a there's like a little like a bodega beneath them, and there's like
Yeah.
they got like one of those umbrella.
The gondola thing or whatever.
It's like
it
a
is.
retractable umbrella.
Yeah.
And so Jackie Chan jumps over the railing, splits, hits the umbrella, and rolls over and lands on the street. And the fucking shop owner's like looking at him, like all pissed. He's like, "Hi," and the shop owner's like, "Ah," and then he's trying to signal to David like, "Don't go," and then David just jumps over, and the shop owner notices, and he pulls in the umbrella, and then David. Bam! Hits the fucking floor.
Dude, when I
And
saw
they
that,
did this all in like a single shot. And you know what's really cool is Yuen Biao actually did this. There's no pads, but I don't know if you notice when he lands on his feet. So it's really hard to catch unless you're really paying attention. So he lands on his feet first and then shoots his feet out.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah. Because otherwise it looks like he
It
just
would have
lands.
broke his fucking
The
tailbone.
whole
for
the whole
sure.
reason he had to do it that way.
My coccyx.
Yeah.
Because he would have fucking broke his back, his spine,
Oh, yeah,
his
he probably
ass,
he
his
would've-
dick,
he
all of
would've
it would have
fucked
broke.
up. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nah.
So it's like he yells at them, and by the way, the English dub for this movie is ridiculous. Even if you don't like movies or martial arts movies, you should watch it for the English dub because it's so over the top ridiculous, just with the voice acting and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the guy's all like, "Don't you Chinese know what stairs are for?" And they're like, the Italian couple's fighting as usual, and so they go. And he's like, why didn't you tell me to jump? He's like, I was trying to signal you to stop. He's like, well, I jumped. He's like, well, I was going to tell you, but you already jumped. And I was like, It's pretty funny. I think we have another couple minutes, but we'll stop there so we don't get too far into the movie. So
By the way, this movie is an action comedy. If you haven't seen this movie, it's freaking hilarious. It's freaking fun.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable.
yeah, it's a martial arts comedy, I guess, / drama. There's a little bit of drama in there, so
Kinda, but the drama's funny.
yeah, but it's funny.
But yeah.
This movie is fucking fantastic, and especially the opening scene is so good. Considering that it's like done in like 1984, you know,
Yeah. No, for sure.
it's incredibly dated, but I mean, it feels good to watch this movie.
It's a fun time. It's definitely a fun time. Like you're watching it through and through, and you can't help but laugh and be excited, especially knowing who the characters are and what they're capable of doing. You just, it's so fun. And then, you know, it's the three fucking guys that make martial arts fucking great.
Well, there's some of those three are some of the most iconic members for martial arts movies entirely. I mean, look, Jackie Chan, huge. Sammo Hung, huge. Yuen Biao, not as big, but definitely
But
huge.
he's got some stuff in
He
there.
definitely has a lot of
for
movies
sure.
under his belt that he's directed and starred. So I mean,
Dude,
same with
martial arts school too.
same with Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung's like, he's mainly a director, but he'll star in movies, and that guy is like incredibly agile for how large he is. So like, he had a TV show in America. He got hired on for like a TV show in America as a cop, and so he'd have to fight a lot. But they didn't realize how agile he was. So when they asked him to do stunts and stuff, they were blown away because they're like, "Oh, you're gonna do this," and then the stunt guy's gonna come in. He's like, "Why would I do that?" And he's like, he could do a backflip and do all these spins and shit because he's Sammo Hung. That's what he does.
Exactly. For a big dude, the guy.
For a big dude, he is agile. Crazy. So there's also another movie another martial arts movie we'll get to eventually that has one of my favorite fight scenes with him in it. He fights Donnie Yen.
Ooh,
fucking awesome. So that'll come up probably within the next couple months.
That's
so David, what did you think of the intro to this movie? Because you've never seen it before, right?
I did not watch it.
You did not watch it.
I was watching really and other important stuff. Sorry, dude. I didn't watch it. I didn't do my homework. Sorry, folks.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
David just has to make us
a chance, though. Give it a good watch.
Yeah. David just has to make us more Jackie Chan drinks now.
Yeah, more Jackie.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I want trouble.
Jackie Chan's probably my favorite martial artist.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few out there, and I have respect for all of them because what they do is freaking amazing. But I love Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's always been great.
Let's jump into direction. So Sammo Hung is the director.
Yes.
And let's check out some of his credits. He's directed 37 movies, or credited for 37. And here's some of the movies before Wheels on Meals. He did Project A. I don't know if you saw that. That's actually pretty good.
Project A is awesome.
Men's Inhumanity to Men.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one. Carry On Pickpocket, The Prodigal Son. I've seen that. Yep. Game of Death 2. I didn't know he did that. Knockabout, Warriors 2, The Victim, Enter the Fat Dragon. It's funny because they have a new Enter the Fat Dragon.
Who's the Fat Dragon?
Starring Donnie Yen.
Oh
no!
Yes,
really?
Yes, it's actually really good. So we'll probably get to that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and his very first movie he directed was in 1977, and was called Iron Fisted Monk. Not Star Wars. That would have been awesome though.
Iron Fisted Monk.
But in case you guys don't know any of his movies, he's done other movies like My Lucky Stars, Heart of the Dragon, Eastern Condors, Dragons Forever. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Seven Warriors is great. I don't know that one. That sounds interesting. Ghost Punting.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I want to watch that now. Blade of Fury, the Kung Fu Cult Master. Don't Give a Damn. What? Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Nice Guy. That is an awesome movie.
Once Upon a Time in China and America. My Beloved Bodyguard. And then
My Beloved Bodyguard's a good one.
Yeah, Face to Face with Sammo Hung. I guess that's looks like a documentary.
He's got quite a few movies.
He's got quite a few
movies in America. He's got quite a few movies in China.
He definitely has more in
Yeah,
in Hong Kong, for sure.
He's definitely got quite a few more. The guy is fucking. He's big. Like
he's multi-talented. He's basically has grown up. Not up, but just he grew with Jackie Chan, doing movies with him, directing, starring, and doing stunts with him.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of references to him being like Jackie Chan's like bigger brother, but when they say big brother, they mean like movie brother, not brother. You know,
like a mentor kind of thing.
Yeah, like a mentor type thing.
Okay.
Those guys have been through almost everything with each other. Those guys have always been two peas in a pod, man.
Oh, for sure they have been.
So I can imagine that they would be, besties in everything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Sammo Hung definitely a great director. This guy has definitely vision for everything. Why don't we go on to writing?
Let's move on to writing.
All right, and the writers are Edward Tang and Johnny Lee. I have no idea who those guys are, to be honest.
Guingai Lee.
Is it Guingai Lee?
Yeah, that's his Chinese name and his.
Okay, because right here it said Edward Tang and Johnny Lee. So
I'm sure that's probably his Chinese name.
I tried to look some of their stuff up. I couldn't really find anything. Like I don't know who these guys really are.
This is like their one-time movie that they ever did.
It could be possible.
I don't really see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything on there. Their stuff. So one of the things I know that Sammo Hung was talking about was, so when he collabed with, I guess, the writers and whatnot, he was looking for something different. as far as martial arts, not just for the fighting, but for the actual scenery. So that's why it took place in Spain. He wanted to give the viewers something visually different.
There's no martial arts in Spain. Put him there.
Yeah. So it's very interesting that he chose Spain. And they basically flew into Spain, and then they wrote the movie in Spain.
Oh, that's
they
crazy.
They kind of went there with an open mind, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I got to give him credit. The movie is hilarious, and it has one of the most iconic fight scenes of all time, and we'll get to that fight scene. But
Oh yeah.
I think we should probably move on. So, we're going to move on to Originality. So, literally, like we were just discussing, this movie is actually very fresh, at least when it came out in 1984.
Well, for 1984, yeah, you don't. From what I can tell, you don't really see too many of these types of movies in America, really. You know, putting martial arts comedy kind of ordeal. Like you see all other kinds of martial art movies, like with Bruce Lee, which isn't like hilarious or anything like that.
It was more serious martial arts.
More
with Bruce Lee.
serious,
Yeah,
martial
definitely
arts
more
kinda
serious.
things like that.
Yeah.
Which Jackie Chan was actually in one of Bruce Lee's movies as an extra. I believe.
He was a villain.
He was a villain, right?
Well, a henchman.
What was it? Enter the Dragon or
It was one of those.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he was in there. But yeah. But this was definitely fun for an 80s movie to watch them do what it is that they do. And they do it great.
Let's go with the soundtrack and score.
Classic
Second
80s
score.
soundtrack.
It does have a very 80s theme to it. You can totally feel how dated the piece is just by the music alone.
Yeah.
I think it's like that with all 80s movies.
It really is. There's not a lot of movies where they actually aim for timeless,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Although the club scene when they're in the club and they're playing that freaking retro freaking club music that they do like in the fucking 80s and shit.
I guess in all fairness,
And the way they were dancing
the music for the dub the music for the dub version is different than the actual music for the original. The I think it's Cantonese or Mandarin. I'm not sure.
Probably Cantonese.
Probably Cantonese.
Yeah. More likely Cantonese than anything. I think I remember some reading something like that.
But the music is different. It's not the same.
Yeah, music was done by Chris Barbita and Tang Su Lam. No idea.
Sorry. So we're just gonna have to give
They're
you.
not very, very well known because
We're just gonna have to give you this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Cheers
you.
as always.
Fucking fun.
Cheers.
Fun as shit. But
As far as the soundtrack goes, I mean, I probably would have changed some things because they put in music where I felt like they probably didn't need to, you know, or just like a
I hate when movies
soundtrack.
do that.
yeah, just
You
like
know?
an extra filler kind of ordeal.
Yeah.
And
It probably would have felt more. It would have felt more like a crime movie because it's also part crime.
yeah.
So it would have felt more like in place if there wasn't music in some parts. You know, like when they're kind
reminded me
of like when Moby's like,
Story or some shit.
yeah, like when like Moby's like snooping around, he's like looking for things.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they're playing like this silly, goofy music. Like there's a lot of horns and whatnot.
I mean, he's kind of goofy, I guess.
I know, but that's the thing is, it probably would have felt better with zero music at that point, you know. But as far as like the music for like the fight scenes or the music for like the scenes with the van,
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good. They're actually kind of on point. And it is nice that it is technically dated, but it's nice to go back and have that little nostalgic retro feel, you know.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They could fix some things, but it was okay. I don't have a problem with too much.
Yeah.
Little tweaks.
Let's move on to our next category. Is it funny?
Is it funny?
This movie's fucking hilarious.
Yes, it's fucking funny.
And also, like I mentioned earlier, if you take into consideration the voice acting, you'll laugh your fucking ass off.
I gotta say, one of my favorite scenes, so fucking hilarious, is when they get like that flat tire or whatever,
That's a good scene, actually.
and they're missing like I don't know, a couple nuts to put
They're
on
missing
the tire.
4.
They're missing 4 nuts, right?
Yeah, so they're
Missing
on
4 lug nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 lug
They're
nuts
on
to
their-
put on their tire.
yeah, they're on their way to visit David's dad, and they get a flat tire, and so they get out of the car, and then David is getting all the stuff, and then Thomas is taking off the wheel. When he takes off the wheel, there's a storm drain next to him, and he accidentally nudges all the fucking lug nuts in there. You don't see it happen, but you see his foot in the storm drain, and next he's walking up to Dave. He's like, "Hey, do you have a magnet on you?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "Why would you need a magnet?" He's like, "I would then lower the magnet down the gutter." He's like, "What? Why would you do that?" He's like, "You've been drinking." He's like, "No, I thought I'd salvage the nuts." Like, they don't keep the nuts down there. So funny.
Yeah, but then the scene that I'm talking about too is when the crazy guy comes in and explains to him to take 1 nut off of each tire and put it onto that tire. That way it holds the tire in place.
Yeah.
And then they explain, you're pretty smart for a guy that's doing here. Well, that has nothing to do with it. I'm smart, but I'm also crazy.
Yeah.
Because
He tells him, he's like, he's a psychological misfit, which
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense.
the guy that acts like a walking clock.
Oh yeah. The tick tock, and he's like, "Brrr," like the
And
alarm
then it
goes
hits him
off.
on the head to stop the alarm.
It's a little silly.
It is, but it is
I-
definitely funny for sure.
Yeah, it's funny for sure. I just can't get over the voice acting. It's always been so bad. Even now, even when I first watched it as a kid, the voice acting is so bad.
Yeah, the voice acting, but it's part of the comedy, though.
No, it's part of the comedy,
It's
for sure.
fucking great.
For sure.
I think it's
For sure.
phenomenal.
So let's move on to our next category, the chase scene.
Chase scene. Okay.
There's actually a few of these.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So let's see. I think we should probably go. You want to go with the car chase? Or do you want to go with when they're being chased by the 2 henchmen? Those are the 2 biggest chase scenes.
Yeah.
I think there's like 3 or 4 chase scenes in here.
There's few chase scenes in there because
Yeah.
there's also the chase
Just like-
scene
yeah.
where they're chasing Lola.
Silvia.
Sorry, Lola's her real name.
Yeah.
But when they're chasing Silvia, there's a few. Go ahead with the car chasing.
Yeah, I think we should. I think the car scene, the car chase is probably the better one. So like, they take off in the van and they're being chased by these little. The foreign cars are so silly. They're so silly looking.
It's fun though.
So there's like this big epic car chase, and they start doing some goofy shit out of the van because their van is like it's a food truck.
Yeah.
It's a food truck van. So they run their little business out of there. So they're being chased. They're like, oh, they start using the stuff in the van to try and get away from the criminals.
Yeah.
And so they're like spraying ketchup and shit on their windshield.
Mustard.
They're throwing mustard.
freaking-
How about a little bit of oil? And they throw some oil. I'm like, there's no way that'd be enough oil to a little bit of vegetable oil on the
But it
ground.
worked.
But it worked. And then he has like a tray that he throws down like a ramp, and then the fucking car hits it and like flips. And I'm like, you serious right
Like
now?
a tray? Are you kidding me? Fuck. All right.
I'm like, how did he just not hit that and it just
I'm gonna
flew
start
off?
keeping trays in my fucking car and just throw
it's
them out
pretty
the window
funny.
if I get
Surprised
chased.
what makes people fucking spin out, dude. You gotta oil up them wheels first and then hit them with the tray.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a ridiculous scene, but it was definitely fun.
It's fun though. That's the whole point. It's so fun.
Yeah, it was great.
It's
It was
really
just
fun.
fucking
And with
awesome.
those foreign cars, you know how goofy those things are.
They're goofy as shit.
They are.
so goofy.
They're like so tiny. Like how you hop in? I'm sitting right next to you, dude. Like the fuck?
That's hilarious. I'm sitting right next to
In
you.
Italia, this is a
practically holding
mid-sized
hands,
car.
yeah.
Yeah, you might as well be, dude.
But yeah, that chase scene, definitely a fun chase scene. A silly chase scene, but it was good.
It's definitely goofy. So let's move on to our next category.
Choreography.
Choreography.
Oh wow.
So there's a lot going
There's
on
a
here
lot
with that.
of choreography in this movie.
And we have some of the best choreographers in this movie, literally starring in this movie. We have Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao, and Sammo Hung.
Yeah.
And then they introduced Benny the Jet Urquidez in this movie. Who Benny the Jet Urquidez is I believe a 6 time world champion in kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like a high level.
He's high
black
level.
belt kind of.
He I believe he knows like over 20 martial arts and whatnot. He's still training today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He has
Wow.
a gym. I believe he's still in Los Angeles. I don't know. He might have moved, but it was in Los Angeles last time I checked.
How old is Benny now?
I believe he's 70.
Right?
I believe he's 70. He's the oldest of
70, but still kicking ass, man. The guy
Yeah.
can still move.
yeah. He's not the only one in his family. His whole family is like martial arts, like
Oriented.
yeah.
That's
Family
crazy.
kicks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benny the Jet's fucking
Yeah.
legit bomb.
Yeah, he was talking about how like every time like it was when he started doing kickboxing, it wasn't even kickboxing. Yeah, it wasn't called kickboxing yet.
It's called
And
cheating.
then they introduced that. They
Stub
introduced
your toe.
because he originally was doing like karate and stuff, and then they introduced a different tournament with a different like a sub not category but a
Just a different
class or
style
whatever.
right?
a different class, and then eventually they got transferred to kickboxing,
Yeah.
and then he started studying like Muay Thai and stuff. And every time they would create a new like tournament with a different division or a class, he would win that. Like he's for sure like one of the toughest competitors of that era.
Oh,
you
I
know?
believe it. I 100% believe it. Seeing how this guy can move, for sure.
Yeah. So
For sure.
to have all that talent, for all of them, plus the the fight scenes and whatnot, like the choreography was pretty good, and Benny is very, very skilled at not hurting people.
Yeah, the choreography was so amazing that some of these fight scenes are so fast, like they're so on it, and it's legit. Like it just blows your mind that how these guys are capable to move the way they do and react to their movements with all the choreography that they do. Is like one slight move, and I know a couple of times that when they throw a punch or a kick, they'll actually hit by accident, and they keep on
Called
moving
tagging.
forward.
Yeah, it's called tagging actually.
But it's fucking great the way they just overall just these guys are fucking awesome. All of them. They're
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got no complaints on that.
No, I think what was very refreshing about this movie with the fights, at least, is that a lot of them actually felt real, and especially the main fight between Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet. It felt so incredibly realistic and fierce. It didn't feel like a 70s kung fu movie. Whereas like every scene, every motion is like very, very choreographed, and you could tell that it's fake. When they fought each other, they were so like in tune with each other that like the whole thing was almost real.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this is like one of the best fight scenes of all time.
Which moves us to our next category, which is the prime fight scene.
Which is the best fight scene of all time.
Which is the best fight scene in this.
I don't know if it's the best fight scene of all time, but
No.
it's up there. It's up there in the top 10 for sure.
It's definitely up there.
It's definitely up there in the top 10.
Benny the Jet and Jackie Chan fight scene was spectacular.
Yeah.
Super amazing. These guys are on point with each other. It's amazing to see how they're able to interact with each other, and the fight is so crazy. And then Jackie Chan says, I should have trained more. So you should get more serious and stuff like that. But these guys are so fast, so in tune. They're just fucking great. When you watch this fight scene, you're gonna look at it like, wow, these guys are quick, man.
The fight scene is not even long either. It's actually a very short fight scene. I think it's only like it's less than 3 minutes. I think it's like 2.5. It's very short, and it's broken up into like another section.
Yeah, because you have a side thing.
Yeah,
where,
with David.
With
David and his
fight scene,
henchmen.
which is not exactly a fight scene.
I don't think it's as good. It's nowhere near.
Not as
it's
good,
not even close to being as
because
good.
he's just trying to dodge everything.
Yeah.
He's jumping from couch over tables and stuff like that, and it's funny.
Yeah, Thomas is the stronger fighter of the two for sure.
Yeah, Thomas is definitely the stronger fighter in this scene, but yeah, man, I can't get over it. It's so good. I can't say anything bad about it. It's so fun, so ripped. Benny's freaking great in shape. And I like his look with the suspenders and everything.
The suit with the suspenders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very ferocious.
I don't like the bowl haircut though.
Yeah, that was his hairstyle then.
Yeah, 80s, but
yeah,
it was good. Really good.
It's very good, very fierce. I mean, one of my favorite things in that whole actual fight scene is when he's basically rushing Jackie Chan, like he's rushing Thomas with like left, right knee kick, left, right, and he's like doing this pattern, and then he does like a back spinning kick.
Yeah.
And he kicks all the candles out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that.
He actually did that. Like they didn't have to like blow the candles out. He did that.
That's fucking dope.
But the problem is they kept like wanting him to do it. You know.
Okay.
So he was talking about like he's like I did it so many times like my leg was hurting and like he's like I couldn't do it towards the end of the day. I'm like you guys have to just blow them out then. It's like he's like he didn't understand.
They
like
want more.
Yeah, he didn't understand it because like he already did it and they caught it and like why more?
Just use it. Fuck.
Yeah.
On to the next, which is the framework. A lot of this movie did have some good framework. There was some where I didn't care for, but you know, 80s movie, but
it's also like a martial arts movie, so it's you're not gonna get some of the like stylistic framework that you would get out of like an Oscar winning like nominated movie.
Yeah.
You know, or like what's this isn't Saving Private Ryan. This is a martial arts movie, you know. I mean, that being said, I only have a couple that I like.
Yeah.
Even a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Mine are mostly the fight scenes though.
Yeah, fight scenes are probably the best part.
Yeah, mine are mostly the fight scenes. There are some other parts of the movie where it's really fun to watch. Like I like how in the beginning of the movie where David is in the truck and he flips the skateboard, and then Jackie Chan does like a backflip onto the skateboard and he's skating through everybody, taking everybody's order. I thought that was a really cool freaking scene.
It was pretty cool.
But yeah, they're not too many.
Yeah.
But again,
actually,
80s movies.
the one of the some of the framework I actually like is in that same sequence, but it's more towards the end of their fight when they're fighting the little motorcycle gang.
Okay.
And it's when David and Thomas are both running towards the two guys on the motorcycle. It's in slow motion, and they jump and they knock the two guys off the bikes. I like that shot. It's kind of like a panning left type shot, but all in slow motion.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. But like for the most part, there's not too much framework in here I like.
Nah, not too much framework.
I guess
a lot of it's funny and everything
funny, yeah.
like that. But again, it's an 80s movie, so you gotta, you're in there for the comedy, you're in there for the action, and it fucking works. So.
I guess there's a Silvia silhouette when she's taking a shower.
Oh yeah,
What's up?
She's a hottie.
She's definitely hot.
She's a hottie. She's definitely a hottie. I'm drinking to that too. She's a hottie.
All right.
So let's go on to the next.
Performance.
Great. What do you got?
I mean, for what it is, it's an 80s martial arts movie.
80s
I think
martial arts comedy.
we're not,
movie.
like I said, we're not looking for Oscar-winning performances.
Nah.
And I think what they did was pretty on point and fair. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna. We're not getting like crazy performances out of them.
It's not like top notch tier or anything like that. What they brought to the table,
it's kind of over the top and silly.
Yeah, what they brought to the table was comedy, and they brought the fight scenes, what it is that people wanted to see maybe at that time or whatever, and has never really been brought that way.
Well,
I guess
the whole point for that movie, especially like Jackie Chan, his movies are about comedy and they're about martial arts. They usually combines the two.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, performance-wise, these guys sold what they were trying to sell. So I mean, I was hooked. It was great.
It's fine. Yeah, we weren't looking for anything
specific.
Yeah,
just a great movie.
Yeah.
Budget. Holy shit. So I had a hard time looking up the budget for this movie because it didn't exactly give me like a whole what the budget was gonna be for the movie or anything like that. But so I was looking, and it said that it was a $13 million budget.
You didn't even get a chance to let us guess, man.
Oh damn! You know what? It's been a minute.
Let me guess.
Sorry.
Was it $13 million?
Was it $13 million?
You're right on the fucking money, guys. $13 million. Sorry. Anyways, but this movie actually, can you guess how much it made?
$13 million?
No, the budget was $13 million.
I'm guessing how much.
Oh,
Saying
okay.
how much it
broke
made.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it made that much.
Yeah,
It probably made maybe 20.
Maybe 20.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't see it making more than that, to be honest.
Made about $49 million.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Everybody was super hyped about what this movie.
So is that global?
This is
Or is
yeah,
that-
yeah, that was global.
That's global.
When I looked it up. I had a hard time looking everything up for it, but yeah, it was global.
Yeah.
Definitely global. One of the biggest things was a lot of what they had to shoot and everything like that was at the scene. Like it was just there in general. Some of the stuff that they had or anything like that is just there. Just $13 million straight up. And that was paying for fucking everybody and what small tools they had to use and everything like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. And it came out on top and it actually fucking worked out.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So definitely a good turnaround for them for sure.
Yeah.
49 million.
49 million off of 13.
Yeah.
That's a
is
really good investment for a
really
movie
good.
like
That's a
that.
super good investment.
Yeah.
Super good investment.
Yeah. That's pretty good return.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Before we jump into our last category, I know we kind of skipped over like the skateboard scene, you know? So
I
you
mentioned it a little bit, but yeah.
I know, but the only reason I want to bring this up is because Yuen Biao and Jackie Chan both had to learn
How to skateboard.
how to skate,
Yeah.
and also how to do those tricks.
Yeah. You know what? Oddly enough, it didn't take them too long to learn how to do.
He said it was difficult, Yuen Biao. Yeah.
Yeah. They said it was difficult, but with their athletic ability, it didn't take them too long to learn how
I
to
would
do
assume, it didn't take him forever.
what it is that they did, and especially Jackie Chan. And Jackie Chan actually learned some serious tricks too.
He's always learning a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I
he's
always
doing-
figured him for like a fast learner kind of shit.
That guy brings like once he puts his mind to it, he fucking goes 110% to try to figure out whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
He
mean,
definitely seems like the type.
for sure. Yeah, they both had a hard time at the beginning, but they were pretty good.
Yeah. I just thought to bring that up because it's a funny little piece of information. Funny little piece of information.
That's actually dope. I'm glad you actually brought that up. I completely forgot about that too.
All right, so let's jump into our last category. But I could use a refill, Dave, if you don't mind.
Last category. You guys want to refill now?
Well, I need a refill.
All right. Man, are you almost done with your drink, man? Because
I'm
like
almost
to
done with mine right
Well,
now.
just pound it, man.
pound it now. By the time I get over there, I don't want to have to
Get
fucking-
pounded by
So
Jackie Chan.
sweet, though. Pounded by Jackie Chan.
Don't you like sweet stuffs anyway, man? Don't you have like diabetes yet?
No, man, he doesn't like sweets.
I don't
What?
like sweets.
Yeah.
Don't you? All you drink is sugary stuff, no?
He doesn't like sweet, I
I
guess,
don't like-
snacks, but he likes, sugary
Yeah,
drinks.
sugary
Oh,
drink,
that's what I mean,
okay,
yeah.
but like this is really.
So this should be right up your alley.
this is
It's
too
like
much.
drinking a fucking, like a
fucking
cherry Coke.
candy and shit.
Yeah, so what do you think soda is?
It's
Liquid
It's,
candy.
it's fucking sugar.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir. You the man.
All right, so
Um,
let's jump into the outro then.
yeah, outro.
Outro. The last 10 minutes is they're sitting at the table with Mondale and they're talking about Silvia and how he's basically screwed if the world finds out that what he did to like steal her like fortune and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's why basically none of you are gonna leave. He's like, I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. And so Jackie Chan grabs like his soup and he throws it on him. And then like he gets up, fucking David gets knocked down, Thomas gets knocked down, the girls get grabbed, and Mondale gets all pissed. He's all like, "Throw these bitches in the dungeon." So they take the women down to the dungeon, and Mondale leaves, and then they start to grab Thomas and David, and then Moby comes running in. He's like, "Ay." And he comes in, he's spinning like a spear and shit, and they're playing like this goofy old, very old school like Chinese music with the gongs and the it's like a little racist but also funny.
It's hilarious.
But it's funny because like he comes in screaming, you know, he's like spinning he's spinning the fucking spear, and he goes up to a guy, he like blocks an attack, spins, like he goes to like stab him, and like the blade bends up because it's decorative, it's not a real spear.
It's not a real spear.
So it's like foil, so it just bends up. The guy's like, oh, I thought he died. so like Moby spins it and he hits the guy in the ass with it, and so they get David. He gets David and Thomas like separated from the henchmen, and now this is where the fights start to happen. So David is fighting his little henchman. I would say little, but he's like really tall. Yeah, and then Thomas is fighting his henchman, and this is where we get the most iconic fight scene for the movie, and one of the best fight scenes of all time. We've gone over it quite a bit, so we're just kind of we're gonna kind of brush right over, and let's talk about David. So David's fighting his henchman. He's just evading, really. He's like flying, jumping over the table. He's like jump, and he like tries to trick him again. The guy like obviously anticipates it and then punches David right in the face, and David's not sure how to beat him, so he like looks around. He grabs like a pot. And when the guy comes in to attack him, he grabs a pot and he swings, hits him right in the head, and knocks him out. Yeah. And then this is where Jackie Chan is like also, or Thomas is also fighting his henchman, and he lands a lucky hit, right? And it's like one of those hard ones, and he wobbles his henchman. Yeah. Whoop. Quick break.
Alrighty. Thanks, David.
Thank you. Toasty toast.
Looks nice.
Does look good.
Cheers,
Yep.
guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. Oh, bullshit. That's real good.
Oh, man, that one's even better.
So he wobbles his henchman, right? And so his henchman's like kind of stumbling now. And then Thomas just laying into him, like punches and elbows and whatnot. Yeah. And the henchman just kind of puts his hands on his head, and he's kind of like getting ready to pass out. And then Thomas comes in, and he hits Thomas, and Thomas gets frustrated. So he does a flying knee, and hits him in the face. But he realizes he's gonna knock the henchman out the window, so he jumps.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. So the henchman breaks out the window, and he catches the henchman by the legs, and the henchman's like, "Don't let me fall." So he saved the henchman's life, and then we got Moby fighting Mondale in the dungeon, or in the training room, I guess. Yeah. And Mondale's he's a fencer. He's actually really good.
Super good.
He's really good.
That choreography.
So
not about that choreography too.
Yeah.
He was freaking good.
He's really good, but it's not really him. Anyways, so
you sure?
100%.
Did he have a mask on? He didn't
Yes.
have a mask on, did he?
Yes. So he's fighting Moby, right? In the beginning, he's not wearing a mask, and you can actually kind of tell that he's not very good with a sword. And then Moby's like dodging all his attacks. He gets scraped on the chest, and he finally grabs some swords, a pair of 2 swords, and he starts fighting Mondale. Mondale's like dodges him, blocks one. He's like, all right. And he grabs a fencing mask and he puts it on. So this is actually This is actually where they bring in the stunt double. So if you go back and watch it, Manny, it's not him. It's actually somebody else, because he's actually not skilled with a sword. That was one of the biggest frustrations with them, is like he didn't know how to use a sword.
Damn, dude!
I
thought that was him.
Yeah, he didn't know how to fence. So
that would have been dope.
Yeah, they're fighting and whatnot, and then
I so thought it was. It was crazy.
Yeah, and then David and Thomas finally get down to the dungeon where Moby is while he's fighting Mondale. And then like, oh, you're still fighting him, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for you two. and they each get a sword now, and now they start to fight Mondale all simultaneously. And then they call out the attacks. And like, oh, we're gonna do attack up top, and he blocks all three. Attack down low, and then Moby's like Chinese fire drill, and like
Run around him.
Yeah.
How do I know this? Is because we Chinese fire drill a car when we stop at a red light.
We used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
One high, one low, one middle.
One high, one low, and middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, he like drops his sword, and that's
Chinese fire drill.
and that's the end of that scene. And so now we're back at the plaza in the van, and David's looking a little bit down, taking orders and stuff. There's like an attractive girl there, and she's like kind of flirting with him. He's like, eh. And then Thomas like drives up. And he's like, hey, how you doing? He's like, might call it early today. And then a car pulls up, and they're like looking, and then like Thomas is like, hey, is that Silvia? And like David does a dive roll out of the fucking van.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Out of the van.
Just out of the van, out of the window. Just
Yeah, he does dive roll out of the van, and like, oh, and they look, and it's her, right? She's all dressed up nice, and she's walking towards him. It's like she rips off her clothes, and then she has her normal clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not naked, David.
And then she apparently joins the crew for Wheels on Meal.
She joins. She's asked them if they could hire her for the summer, so she could work for them for the summer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then Moby walks up, and he tells them he got promoted, so now he's like officially 100% legitimate. They congratulate him, and he offers them a case. He's like, hey, do you guys want to come help me on another case? You guys will be able to open up like 10 chains, you get millions of dollars. And he's like, oh, what is the thing? He's like, oh, it's I got a case with in like, I think he says like New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Was it New Zealand?
Is it New Zealand?
Is it?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Is it New Zealand?
I think it's New Zealand. Yeah. You're right.
I'm sorry. If it's not, you can write down in the comments and whatnot. But
I think it is.
He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got to talk to like a chief, and like we're trying to figure out something that's going on with these cannibals down there. Like, oh, cannibals.
Cannibals.
And they're like, hey, what's that over there? And they fucking kick Moby over, and he like falls and rolls, and he gets up. He's like, why you? And then freeze frame.
Classic freeze frame. I miss those.
Right? The old school freeze frame.
And
it's very 80s. It's very
There was
80s.
a lot of 80s tropes that came out. You had the high five, fucking slow-mo.
Dude,
the
Breakfast Club?
The Breakfast Club.
That, the fucking just slow-mo in general. You don't really get to see that nowadays.
Uncle Buck?
Yeah.
80s movies.
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it the first time. Like, did he have a stroke?
Yeah.
And the credits roll. Like, oh, it's over.
Like, what's wrong with my VHS tape?
But that's the end of the movie.
That's the outro. The end of
That's the outro of the movie. End of the movie. Great film, fantastic, fun to watch. It was definitely one of my favorite ones.
This is hits home for me because I love martial arts movies. Martial arts movies are one of my favorite things.
Oh, you grew up around martial arts too.
Yeah, I grew up around martial arts.
We're
We're actually kind of
dojo.
We are actually kind of filming this
inside
of a
his
martial
dad's
arts
dojo.
studio. So
Don't be modest.
it's not like a nice dojo or anything.
Yeah,
it's just
it's a dojo. How
it's
many
it's
people
a
can say they
it's a
have
martial arts
fucking
studio for sure.
dojo in the back of the house?
Anyways, this movie really hits home for me, like on several levels, and that nostalgia really kicks in. But we can't let that affect our rating today.
No.
So you picked this movie, Manny. What are you rating this?
I did pick this movie. I think I really do love this movie. I love this movie a lot. Again, there are some scenes in here that, didn't quite fit, but I mean,
what do you mean by fit, though?
Well, there were just some slow parts where it just dragged, kind of like.
Okay, it could have been cut out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all in all, I mean, I think it was an awesome movie. So, if I have to rate this movie, and this, I would give it a 5 top notch, but that's just nostalgia talking. So, to be honest, I would give this movie, I'm going to give it 4 Bruce Lees.
4 Bruce Lees?
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4 Bruce Lees. What is it that you're thinking, though? Like,
I would probably go 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. That's just my opinion. We could do 4. We could just round it up. It's fine. The fight scene alone with Benny Jet and Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I mean, the fight scenes were great. The comedy scenes were awesome. They were definitely funny.
It's different because it's like like that old school.
But you
like,
have to look at it.
comedy.
It's an 80s.
It's 80s
movie,
for sure. It's an 80s movie. Yeah.
You know, an action comedy kind
So it's not
of
up
thing
to it's not to par with comedy and whatnot. And
Yeah.
as far as martial arts goes, like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Considering it did come out in the 80s. It doesn't feel incredibly fake.
Yeah, and this is why I gave it a 4. I had to think about it.
That's fine.
You know,
we can do 4. We can do 4.
4 Bruce Lees, in my opinion. You know, it's just to me, it was an overall fantastic comedy. Definitely a lot of fun fight scenes to watch. It was great.
All right. 4 Bruce Lees.
4 Bruce Lees.
4 Bruce Lees.
I agree.
That's what I think.
All
David,
right.
you got to watch this movie and let us know, man.
I will.
He'll watch it. He'll watch it, and we'll make a small little clip reference
Sounds
on
good.
another video. Yeah, and I guess with the rating in, that basically rounds us out for the night. So, what do you say we do our closing segments?
Sure.
All right.
Close it out.
If you guys enjoyed our content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really, with the comment though, because that helps the algorithm. If you would like to suggest a movie or you just want to shoot the shit with us, you can email us at nyec.gsc@gmail.com. And I mean, check out these movies.
Yeah. Definitely let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think about these movies.
Because, to be honest, we like giving you our perspective on these movies. But
Have
we
your
definitely
own.
want to hear what you have to say.
Have your
what
own.
you think. You know what I mean? So let us know. You know, maybe
This
change
movie
our
might be a
minds
little
or-
bit hard to find though. I found one English dubbed version of this free on YouTube. I'll post the link in the description. Hopefully it doesn't get pulled. So we'll see.
We'll see, though.
We'll see.
But,
I mean, other than that, I'm not sure entirely where you can watch this. I tried watching it on. I don't think it was on Amazon, to be honest.
I mean, if you find it, you know, watch it, give it a shot. Let us know what you think. And again, put it in the comments. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
us up.
Like always,
Happy movie going.
happy movie going.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, David.